right, Bob. Now, this quake was small. The shaking didn't last very long. With that considered, it still managed to make waves across the valley. It only lasted seconds.
I felt a big sound or a big boom and then a couple of jolts to my house.
But that shaking, unmistakable.
It was so fast, though. We kind of like, okay, it's earthquake.
From Lehigh to Saratoga Springs, Bluffdale, even Riverton and Draper, hundreds felt the rumblings.
It's a good shake. It's nothing we'd expect damage from in sort of typical situations, but enough to sort of wake you up, maybe rattle the windows a little bit.
University of Utah seismographs recorded the 3.2 magnitude jolt. The earth moved deep beneath the surface, about 6 miles down. This earthquake, not the only movement going on.
There might be some aftershocks.
Those aftershocks would be too light to feel, but Lehigh Emergency Management was still keeping an eye on the situation.
This was just very small, so we just monitored it.
No damage, but lots of excitement.
We were just like, what was that?
They all came running to Grandma this morning.
Something to talk about this holiday weekend. The University of Utah seismographs pick up small quakes in Utah quite often. In fact, the last one just 2 days ago, at magnitude 1.6 over by Schofield. Live in studio, Lauren Steinbecker, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Some people living in and around Asheville woke up this morning to an earthquake. That's right. The U.S. Geological Survey says the center of the 2.9 quake was about 20 miles northwest of the city, but it could be felt as far away as downtown Asheville. Despite its size, the largest one to hit the region was 5.1 in magnitude, and it hit in 1960.
Brown takes us inside the rescue.
Durham 911, where is your emergency?
The 911 call came in at 7:46 Sunday morning.
No one's around. Down in the hole and he's screaming.
He was, just uncontrollably shaking.
Chief Randy Clements and other volunteers with the Redwood Fire Department showed up here to find a man trapped and trembling at the bottom of a 12-foot deep sinkhole on Redwood Road.
He was obviously been very cold for a long period of time and was shaking just uncontrollably, and couldn't really verbal other than he kept saying he was okay and he wasn't hurt.
Firefighters climbed into the hole and lowered a backboard and basket.
We lay him in that and place it on top of the ladder, tie the patient in, and then take a rope and just slide him up.
The sinkhole is on an isolated stretch of the road. No homes or businesses in sight, but it is near a popular fishing spot, and firefighters say that's probably what saved the victim's life.
And maybe he was screaming or something for help and somebody heard it or what, but whoever basically heard him most likely saved his life.
The victim is hospitalized with undisclosed injuries, and for now, Redwood Road remains closed at Falls Lake. The deep hole is roped off with bright plastic fencing, a reminder to others to avoid the danger. In Durham, Catherine Brown, WRAL News.
The fisherman told a 911 dispatcher he remembered seeing the victim hours earlier wandering in the area looking lost and disoriented. Durham Sheriff's deputies are still questioning.
Giant snowballs appear on Russian beach. Russians living in a village just above the Arctic Circle are reporting a strange natural phenomenon that stretches as far as the eye can see. Giant snowballs have formed on a beach in the Gulf of Ob in western Siberia. The snowballs are spread out for 18 kilometers along the coastline and come in a variety of sizes. The smallest are as large as a tennis ball, but they can grow to the size of a giant beach ball. The balls start off as fragments of ice in the near-frozen sea. A combination of the wind and tide rolls them around near the shore until they wash up on the beach. Once on the beach, the balls freeze and are coated by more ice and snow. According to scientists, the balls are made up of concentric bands of sand and slush. The giant snowball phenomenon isn't unique to Russia. In recent years, similar ice balls have been seen at Lake Michigan and at a lake in Maine.
Tonight, in this neighborhood north of Detroit, almost no one's home for the holidays. A massive sinkhole approaching the size of a football field has evicted nearly 24 families, evacuated after sudden cracks began tearing one home apart on Christmas Eve. Now a waiting game. Will it grow? Can they stop it?
You're just grabbing what you can at this point, right?
Yeah. Clothes and valuables, and Christmas presents.
Already, officials say 3 houses are destroyed. Water and power shut off. The city's mayor calling for a state of emergency.
We were informed it was much larger, that it encompasses the majority part of a neighborhood and many, many families.
TJ Spreitzer's pizza shop is across the street from the sinkhole. Late today, he was finally able to reopen for business.
They're making their own roads to get at least connections to businesses local here. But right out front, you cannot get eastbound or westbound off of 15 Mile Road, which in turn is going to affect, I think, all the local businesses around here.
It's a cruel case of deja vu. This sinkhole opened on the same stretch of road back in 2004. This time around, emergency crews hit a few setbacks, including cutting a gas line this morning. Those forced to leave may not be able to return home for several weeks as officials try to stabilize the ground.
I can understand that, but it's hard.
Ron Mott, NBC News.
The Global Ozone Monitoring Experiment is a cutting-edge instrument that surveys our atmosphere from above. It's known as GOME.
Their main mission is to monitor ozone, as its name suggests, but also to monitor other pollutant gases in the atmosphere.
In 2014, NASA releases an image captured by GOME's sensors, an image that looks like some strange unearthly force has spread across America. It shows an enormous cloud-like mass, so vast it covers half the United States. But this is no rain cloud. It's constant. The only movement, a gentle pulsing.
When I see this image, my first thought is that there is some kind of major disaster that has taken place in the Midwest.
What we have to figure out here is, what is the satellite picking up? Is it carbon dioxide, oxygen, a greenhouse gas, or something completely different?
Looking at the image, you'd think that half the U.S. was on fire.
In recent years, America has experienced some of the worst wildfires in its history. The idea that they may have caused this image is disturbing.
If I were seeing that occurring on a satellite image in relation to a wildfire, I wouldn't be sitting here with you. I would probably be running for cover.
The sheer scale of the cloud casts doubt on this idea.
I've never seen a satellite image of a fire that's that dramatically large. The fuel to support such a fire doesn't even exist.
If fire is not the answer, what other natural phenomenon could occur on such a wide scale? Volcanic eruptions can send vast clouds of pulverized rock high into the atmosphere.
A volcano is going to put out a plume of ash and smoke from a point source, from the volcano itself, and then spread out. When we look at this image, we see more of a globular type of pattern, and that tells us that it's not likely going to be associated with a single volcano.
If a volcano were to erupt in North America, we'd all know about it. So what's going on?
So it's not a volcano. It's not a wildfire. But whatever's going on, it's happening on a massive, colossal scale. It's big.